All right, greetings, salutations. A little bye week action. So hopefully you get a little rest. Hopefully you stay safe during the hurricane. And hopefully if you're in Tallahassee, you got to go check out those Rattlers. Because I'm just saying, that Rattler volleyball is on top of the SWAC. It's about to be some fun times. It's always gonna be. Thanks up.
Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started. Are you kidding me? Unreal!
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community, they also know how to turn up.
Does he have it? Yes, he does! And that might be the knockout punch.
All right, greetings and salutations, family. A little time for a little tune up before we get to some of the regular season. So, or continue the regular season. So we got a bye week. And look, if you with me, I appreciate it because I recognize I see Dr. Cavill up here. I think Scotty's going. You got a whole lot of folks talking at the same point in time. That's crazy. What's up, Tabra T? Good to see you, that little baby. What's up, Marvin? What's up, Kev? Good to see everybody. Um, and yeah, a little time for a tune up. And just trying to see what these Rattlers gonna get into. You might be a little bit like me after that game last week. I would love a game this week, but I'm also okay for the bye week. So, yeah, let me know how the sounds. I'm trying it without the little thing. My daughter's like, and I'd be like, So I'm trying to see. So it's either this or I might just get the new mic. We'll see. But look, before we get too far into it, FAMU cross country, getting it started. They are going to be doing the FSU cross country invitational. It says XC, but if you know, you know. In the words of Pusha T. Oh yes, Marvin, we were safe. No damage to report so far. Hadn't been able to get on top of the roof, but so far, so blessed. So really good. Didn't lose power for more than 4 or 5 minutes. So, my mama always told me when you buy a house, try and buy a house near a hospital. So, all of my homes in the Orlando area that I've put money into have been near a hospital or a fire, department. But in the meantime, look, we went 3-0 in Mollywop Cookman in volleyball. Also got some work to do against some of these other teams. So as y'all saw, got a couple teams coming to the city, largely because of the hurricane. And honestly, I don't blame it. If you didn't see our cousins in Daytona, they caught the weather. It definitely trying to find the right word, but it was raining, and the campus did flood over there at Cookman. So I saw where Vaughn actually stated during the 220 meeting, he's like, if it is a little bit of rain in Daytona, it's going to flood at Cookman, which fortunately proved to be true. So, prayers up for our cousins over there. As he said, it ain't the classic, but y'all already know how we do about that kind of stuff, man. We are always, except for during the Florida Classic, praying for Mary's children and our cousins over there at Daytona. So, just kind of let y'all know and kind of put y'all on game there. Now, other thing though, if y'all hadn't seen, look, FAMU basketball got a little something going on. I told y'all I'm on the Coach Curry train. Like, if you saw the video, him roam around campus, I didn't ask for permission, so I didn't take it. Sometimes you ask for forgiveness, but normally I'll message Josh and be like, hey, you mind if I kind of steal this video? And normally he'll be like, it's whatever. But I try to ask first. But now with the pictures, that's fair game, bro. Like, I hate to tell you that, man. But these pictures right here, yeah, man. So Giovanni Woods, and I was told supposed to be the last addition to the staff. So I am excited about that part. And honestly, I'm looking forward to the next piece of this. Like now that you've solidified your roster, you've done all the things you need to do to, for the most part, kind of shut us up as a fan base, like to get us quiet. Now it's time to produce because you got us excited. Like the roster is looking solid, team's looking pretty good. So now, as a fan, all right, coach, you got to keep putting in work because the goodwill it's been earned. Like because you toughed it out when a lot of people would have said middle fingers to y'all people. But okay, all right. Now, first thing, and I know I skipped one. Look, when I mentioned this goodwill, recruiting trail. When was the last time FAMU basketball was this active in recruit? I'm just gonna ask the question. I'll put it out there. I can't name when because look right here, because we got a player whose last name is O'Neal, but we just offered a player whose first name is O'Neal, but that last name, I don't know if y'all can see it over here in the corner there, right there. That says Delancey, and I don't know if they're related, but he's from St. Pete. She's from St. Pete. Coincidence? Could be. So, but O'Neal Delancey, 6'4" guard from Gibbs High School, 2027 though. Whew. That's assuming Curry's gonna stay here that long, deal with some of that stuff. That's a 6'4" guard. And if he can score anything like the other Delancey, we in for a good time. What's up, Mary 305? Gail, good to see you. Look, and look, yes, I'm telling y'all. And look, little baby says, I love the moves he's making. That way, when he busts a SWAC in the mouth with his year one record, he can negotiate higher pay and salary with contract years. I'm telling you, it shouldn't even get to that. It should be, hey, I got mines. Time for you to get your earn. So, other one right here, Dwayne Butler, the JUCO prospect from Sneed State, I believe it's in Ohio, 6'5" guard. So, I'm looking at this. I'm seeing we got some guards. What's up, Mr. Phillips? Look, if y'all aren't familiar, right here, Mr. Sam Phillips. If you need any type of gym needs, right there, that's the man to see right there. Especially if you are in Kennesaw, Georgia area. Telling you, fitness guru, dude's the GOAT. I'm gonna leave it there. Then this other one, Danny Miller, 6'2" guard from Mount Verde Academy. If you're not familiar, Mount Verde is literally right here in the Metro Orlando area. I might have to roll up there, see what he's talking about. But 2026 prospect, originally from New Jersey, but Mount Verde is one of those schools that continuously brings in the best players in the nation. So, all right, FAMU. I see the recruiting's gotten better. I'm seeing the quality of athletes is getting better. So, okay. Because for the longest while, recruiting wise, I can't tell you what it was, but I know what it wasn't. And it wasn't it. So, we'll see. One of my doodads is this is having a problem connected to the internet. So, hopefully, it's just that and not this. So, now on the football side of things, and I hate flying blind, but we're gonna fly blind today, I guess. But on the football side of things, you can see right here, we got our player of the week, and it is. Let me make sure y'all can see it. Deco Wilson goes back home to Sweet Home, Alabama, and comes away with some accolades. So he is the player of the week over there for that game, and he had a solid game. Like I said before, did he get run over once? Maybe, but did he get an interception and make a lot of other plays? Yeah, you can't deny that. That brother definitely had himself a day at Sweet Home, Alabama. So got player of the week for the Aeneas Williams Award, which is essentially kind of like you would say like the Doak Walker. Not Doak Walker. The best defensive back award. There we go. I don't know why it escaped me, but it did. So since it escaped me, that's okay. Jim Thorpe, I believe that is Jim Thorpe. So now one of my biggest complaints: where the coach has been at. I ain't seen no recruits coming in football wise. Felt like little shaman was going on. Well, Coach Cozy must have been like, I'm gonna show you because this bye week they are out there. So you see out there, Cozy is in Dade in Broward County. Hopefully Dade, because yeah, Broward might have got a little bit of that heat. Coach Walker's in Texas and Wyndham's in doing the Mississippi JUCOs. So smart move. Kind of hit up the junior colleges. Hopefully those are ready-made products that are already ready. And you also got an offer out there. So you offered a player from Florida High. So only thing though, Josiah Braxton, he's committed to Vanderbilt. So yeah, look, Hitman, I'm with you. We need some defensive tackles because and I think that's part of why you probably go to JUCO route, just to get some of the talent in the door, because we kind of know like what our weaknesses is and what they ain't. But we also know that if you're able to get a solid defensive line, it greatly assists the team. And if you're getting them from junior college, more than likely it's a more ready-made product. Hitman says linebacker too. Look, we need some tackling donuts and still go to gloves. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all on that one. So, look, yeah, in the meantime, though, football is what it's going to be. But did y'all see the news? Look, they got the FCS playoffs, and the FCS playoff committee is meeting. You got 24 spots, and you have one HBCU that's on there. That's Tennessee State. Obviously, FCS playoffs don't mean anything if you're a FAMU in this year because we can't go. But representation hopefully matters. So hopefully Tennessee State kind of kicks the door down for their conference. But it also kind of keeps an eye out there for second place in the MEAC. Like, let's kind of be honest about this. Even though it doesn't mean anything for the SWAC, if you're looking across the table and you kind of look, North Carolina Central and South Carolina State are the second and third best teams in the MEAC. So probably, I mean, first and second and third best teams in HBCU football, and they might be first, second. So yeah, you would hope that maybe a person from Tennessee State can look over there to the MEAC and say, besides the fact we should already be in that conference, maybe we can throw y'all a bone because, yeah, man, hopefully we can get that in. I don't know. I'm assuming that's a child. It's a daughter. So, sometimes we have kids, like they just randomly come in once you see stuff. So, hey, I got two of them. But the other piece, and Brian put me on the spotlight because I wasn't going to talk about it, but you did see the National Letter of Intent program, and I did see the On3 article. I read it, kind of went deeper into it. And y'all know I kind of got to put that FAMU spin on it. Like, what does that mean for schools like FAMU? And so, first thing is they talk about revenue sharing. So, yeah, we definitely got to be able to check because the recruits in these, not even the recruits, the student athletes are going to be able to get a portion of the revenue that is going to the university. That's a big difference, partially because the student athletes are going to start becoming employees of the university. So what does that mean for your low resource institutions? It doesn't mean as much for your schools that are making more money. I mean, obviously Florida State, Florida, UCF at this point, and Miami, they're in Power Four conferences. They're making big money. And you start to look at the breakdown and kind of the way they're changing things. This is all of a sudden going to mean that your HBCUs have to be able to generate more revenue. Otherwise, it's going to become a problem. But there's also going to be these binding documents. So the National Letter of Intent was pretty much like your letter that you're going to the college or university. There's going to be a new binding document to replace that. Like, these schools are not liking this transfer portal stuff, but not just the transfer portal, more so of if I quit, if I play by this certain amount of time, game 4, red shirt, then I save that year of eligibility and I'm telling you I'm going to enter the transfer portal. So essentially, I've wasted an entire spring and I'm going to pay you through however long to go to school, but you essentially quit on the team. Mm, I think that's part of what we're missing there. Does it affect HBCUs as much? Not really, because how many HBCU athletes are going to do that? It's slim and none. So what's really going to happen is it's going to hurt those larger schools and those student athletes, where you saw the quarterback from UNLV, the kicker at UCF, where 4 games in, we're not going to make the playoffs. We're not going to do anything we're talking about. You know what? I'm stepping away. I'm putting my name in the portal. I'm redshirting. I'm out. That's going to affect those kids' financial aid awards, because what they're doing is, at least from reading the information, they're changing this so that, one, they're employees, but they're also tying this to their aid. And so what happens with your aid, if you're not doing certain things to meet the criteria, you get an over award. That's what it's looking like. They're going to do something like that. And if you're not familiar, an over award is when you get awarded over the amount of aid you were supposed to get and you got to pay money back. Like, and look, I feel like NCAA are going to adjust and change the game on players. They're about to. They really are. Like, I think that's kind of one of the things we're missing. Like, the game has changed. NCAA is trying to find a way to regain control because they see what you and I see. The SEC and the Big Ten are really calling shots. And at some point, we got to figure out a way to get our hands back on this, because at the lower level, the HBCUs have the highest attendance, but the worst facilities. So something in there don't make sense. So how does the NCAA stay as a governing body and also as a revenue producing body? I think that's the other thing they're missing. And they're trying to find a way to make the schools happy, because if they make the schools happy by putting these players in binding contracts that they have to stay where they are, I think that changes the transfer portal, and that kind of, I don't want to say fixes things, but it makes it more palatable as a college university. Now, they are getting rid of National Signing Day. It's not going to be National Signing Day, but they're going to sign something. You're going to have some type of contract, and it's probably going to have a certain amount of time. Like, I anticipate it being something where it's more like that year-to-year deal, where you're here for all of this year and, give some players some give back. But those contracts are going to be much more stringent. And the other thing is, I think it's going to affect NIL. Like, we're seeing where NIL's gotten to a point where I think they're starting to realize that the larger levels is kind of out of control for some of them. Like, if I own a Raising Cane's and all of a sudden I become this rich dude, hey, more power to me, because the only thing good that I'm slinging to you is cane sauce, because the chicken's trash. But hey, if you keep buying it, that's your problem. But if all of a sudden I'm selling it and I get rich and I start pumping money into FAMU's NIL program, all of a sudden FAMU has a distinct advantage. So I think that's some of the ways they just try to find some ways to kind of track the money. And I really feel like that's some of the ways that they're going to try to correct NIL to a certain degree. Like, because, little baby, you're saying it right there. The big schools can't keep up with the stuff. They're going to fix it. Yeah, because perfect example. Look across the street. If you're a FAMU, look across the tracks. FSU can't keep up with UM. Like, FSU really can't keep up with a UCF or USF. And it's not because these schools are whatever have you. It's because of where they are. What big business do you have in Tallahassee that's going to pump that kind of money into Florida State, even with the grads they have? Opposed to when you're in Orlando, UCF is Orlando's team. Like, and they have the largest school in the state. USF is Tampa's team. So you're having these teams that are in these large metropolitan cities that are able to go back and reach into those dollars, pull those assets in, and say, hey, let's turn this into something that makes us money. And I think that's where NIL is starting to get to something where folks are gonna want to get a handle on it because yeah, the University of Kentucky, Lexington, they're kind of the only game in town. But how long before, especially if Georgia Tech had lower requirements to get in, how long before Georgia Tech starts to really eat? Georgia's already doing it. But and look, you don't have any. The big business, government, education, ain't no NIL there at all. So I think that's kind of where they're looking for that leveling ground. That's part of where they're also looking for that conference shift, but they're also looking for that unequal revenue sharing, which is that's something they got to get going. But that's on them. They ain't got nothing to do with FAMU. Now, what does this mean for HBCUs? HBCUs got to offer better financial aid options. Like it just is what it is. Like you're gonna have to offer tuition waivers, out of state waivers. You're gonna have to do something to make it more financially palatable. Like it's got to be something to where a student comes to an HBCU and they're able to leave as an athlete with a little something in their pocket, more than just the Pell Grants, the Florida State University grants or assistance grants, like all the financial aid grants. You got to give them more than that. The other part is you got to find new ways to generate revenue, and that's something we're going to say constantly and consistently. But if you're doing revenue sharing and you're a low resource institution, you got to find a way to get more revenue because now, how long before the players can claim that they have a right to the funds? Like that's to me, that's the scary part as an HBCU alumni, HBCU supporter, and a person who backs HBCUs. Like I'm that different person. I did watch the was that Edward Waters? Was it Edward Waters and Allen or Benedict? Like I'll watch those games. I was watching Brian as he was talking and doing the game in Jacksonville while I watched the FAMU game. So if y'all didn't know, Brian from ONG Strike Zone, he was on ESPN. Get that brother's chops. Give him some props. He got some chops. So he was doing the on-air color commentating. So it was really cool to watch. But I'll watch that before I watch some of these other games because I prefer HBCUs. But that doesn't mean I don't watch the other games. Like I'm definitely watching, I watch Florida State, Clemson, UF, whatever. I'm going to the UF game next week. So look, don't judge me. But you have to create new revenue streams to be able to pay the players because eventually they're going to become employees. And that's not something I came up with. I give y'all credit and I give credit where credit's due. They shouted me out before. I got them no cast. That was Bud Elliott right there. But he was right. Like students are going to become employees. And look, offer what they're here for in the first place. In education, even at the top level. Not everyone's going to NFL. So sell the best you have to offer. Yeah. And they're here for an education. You're right. And that's where I say a part of it, you gotta, before they start demanding it, you got to build the revenue up so that you can show them, hey, this is what we can give you. And this is as equal as we can get. Like some of this has to be what it is, but then some of it you definitely have to change your models. Like FAMU volleyball, Saturday, you get what, 2 games? Sunday, 2 games. FAMU plays, Cookman plays. All the games are free. The lights at the Lawson Center ain't free. Like ain't nothing free in there, but the game is free. You got to change some of your business practices in order to create a revenue producing format because otherwise it's not sustainable. Like, and other thing, how long does NIL last for? Like we know the Fang Exchange is kind of doing their thing and 9 o'clock, watch them on YouTube. But how long is the NCAA? And I don't know if they're going to stop it, but how long before it becomes something where it was kind of a phase? And I feel like this new ruling is really there to kind of counter NILs. So we're gonna see. Now, last before we get up out of here, now I gotta talk. I gotta brag. 5-0 run your pool. I gotta share that. But if you saw the Rattler blog, I don't know which one it was. They mentioned about the Rattler boosters, and so one of the things, as y'all saw right here, it was the title of the show is "It's Time for a Tune-Up," and so that wasn't just talking about the football team, also talking about one of my favorite DSOs, the Rattler boosters, and so you can see, look, next president hire is crucial. Hope he or she is keeping with the landscape of college athletics. Me too. Did I see Curry? I saw Curry out there. I did. I saw him out there passing out donuts, everything. And I think Curry's look, yeah, that could definitely be Curry without the different haircut though, because he's definitely tuned up that basketball program. But Rattler boosters, it's time for us to get a little tune up. And I'm speaking as a person that donates his time, many hours, and sometimes is able to donate his platform. But we definitely, and if you didn't see the article, the writer, because obviously we don't know who the writer is. It ain't me. I put my name on everything I say and do, because I'm sorry, I'm just that kind of person. But in the article, you hear where the person is stating that the Rattler boosters should probably get the parking back, which is a great idea in theory. In practice, and that don't make good nonsense. Why would you put a bridge between you and your money? Like, that don't make sense. And that's just me speaking out loud. But this is just me. If I have to pay bills, I'm not going to give my money to somebody else and then they give the money back to me to pay my bills. That doesn't make sense. Like, so in this day and time, and I think part of the um mm-mm, I think part of the looking at this is looking across the street, looking at places at UF, and you see where their boosters handle parking. Their boosters handle all these different things, and their boosters are very powerful. But then you come over, you look over at FAMU, and you see where they weren't wrong under the Milton Overton regime. The boosters essentially get emasculated, not for a bad reason though. Like, we did have a whole financial scandal circulating around the boosters, which is why some of y'all still don't trust the boosters. Like, and they're fiduciary responsible. Like, they're fiscally responsible. Like, I'm sorry. Like, they're very responsible. Like, say what you want to about Mr. Cobb. One thing he does, he makes sure whatever money you put in goes where it needs to go. With Colonel Joe, same thing. Mr. Ansley, like, whatever money you send to FAMU, Melody, cousin Melody, whatever money they receive goes straight to where it needs to be. Like, there's no more of that funny business. But what Rattler boosters need to do, and I love that Brian commented, Brian from the ONG Strike Zone. He was on Dr. Cavill. I don't know if he's still on now. But one of the things, you got to diversify. Like, you got to give up the pipe dream. The pipe dream for some is we're going to get parking back and we're going to do all these things when we get this money. No, like, it's not going to happen. Like, if it does happen, it's because an AD is doing you a solid. But you have the Rattler Athletic Fund. You have investing in champions. You have too many things that are giving them the direct funds without the middleman. Because if the funds go through Rattler boosters, all of a sudden, that's less funds that ends up in the coffers of the university. Because before the university gets theirs or the athletic department gets theirs, you got to take care of Rattler boosters. I get it. I get the one. I was a booster in college, paying for a parking spot. But at the same point, in today's landscape, you got to change it up and go use some of the resources that you've had on. You've had the Fang Exchange at the booster meeting telling you, hey, we want you to support the Fang Exchange, do these different things. We're selling hats, we're selling shirts, we're selling merch. All of a sudden, you're seeing innovation happen because they have young leadership. You go back, you see what the 220 Club is doing. And just saying, Vaughn's got it going on. Like, and what is Vaughn doing? The 220 Club meeting is live. It's not on Zoom. It's live on YouTube, easy to get access to, and you're immediately seeing everything they're doing. Like, and the other part is Vaughn's asking for $20 a show. So for that $20, if he does 20 shows and you pay for all 20 of those, that's $400 per person. But he's got a stated goal, he's got a stated target. And so some of that is he pivoted. He saw him and Eddie Jackson saw something. They saw where 220 was this, but then he also saw where, hey, we're coming out of pocket for this. Let's start asking for donations, not just from the people who are attending 220, but the people that are watching 220, because all of us can't be there, but all of us can pay. And so all of a sudden, you're seeing where you have young leadership making moves and innovating. Because look, and Lil Baby said, definitely got to pull more young people in so that they can assist and continue a lot of the media efforts. Exactly. Like anyone new, no. I haven't heard any news, but at the same point, I don't see the point in that. But I get it. I get it. It's for the non-revenue sports. But I think it's just a splintering of an already small group. And if you're really gonna fix this, like I said, you got to get off that pipe dream that you're gonna get parking back. That's not gonna happen. But what you got to do is, and I love that Mr. Cobb did this, and he announced it during the 220 meeting. They're having booster events, so it's like, hey, we're having a tailgate here. Hey, there you go. Now you're starting to see something. Like, and I said on the show, one of the things you do, and especially now that you have an AD that is maybe a little more willing to listen. There you go. You can bend their ear, and it bends a little different than with the previous athletic director. Not saying you couldn't tell her nothing, but I'm just saying with the current leader, I think she's looking to hear a little more. I think you leverage your position. Like, give Earl back his damn hill. But don't just give Earl his hill. Create an area on the hill for tailgating. I've said that. But even with that, what you do is you get a spot for the boosters to tailgate. So, hey, this is the booster tailgate. As a member of the boosters, you get this for a discounted rate or for free. I shared that idea already. But you start to kind of see where you're doing something in a place where nobody else can get access to. Hey, maybe you do it next to the stadium. Maybe you do it here. Maybe you do it there. Remember they used to have that Champions Club over there by where Kelvin's and tailgate now? Like, it looked cool. What if you have something like that for 220 or for the boosters? Hey, if you're a Rattler booster, you get access to the stadium an extra 30 minutes early, 45 minutes, an hour. What does that mean to you as a fan? Hey, I get to skip the line. I get to chill in for a little bit longer. Maybe you work that and you partner that to go with the North End Zone Club. So all of a sudden, oh yeah, you're a Rattler booster. Oh, okay, yeah, you get early access. You know, the North End Zone Club opens at this time. But I mean, just stuff like that. Like, you gotta, and I wouldn't even do that. I would honestly go and create my own tailgate space that was near the stadium. And it was an exclusive spot for boosters or as a paid spot. Like, You have, and switch it up because you see folks are tired of eating Mission Barbecue all the time. Rotate it up. Take advantage of what the others ain't doing. Hey, go here and go to Piggly Wiggly. Five Guys. I don't know if there's Five Guys in Tallahassee. Sorry. There's a Five Guys. It's on the north side. But go different places. It was a morning game. Go to the Maple Street Biscuit Company. Like, switch it up. How much is boosters? $100. At the low price of $100, you could be a Rattler booster right now. And that's what I'm saying. Vaughn's a genius. Like, because it's 20 weeks, honestly, if you paid the $20 for 5 weeks straight, you pay the same price of being a booster. I'm just saying, Vaughn's a freaking genius because he's got a plan, though. Now, Rattler boosters, you have a plan. It's to sustain the stuff that you already have. You're offsetting coaches' contracts. You are building. Well, you're not building, but you're sharing the payment for the cooling area. Right? There's a lot of different things that you're doing, but some of y'all don't know. Send a link. Oh man, say less. And look, I got my fancy mouse from work today, so hopefully y'all don't hear me typing. I got the quiet keyboard too. Look, I upgraded technology a little bit. You know, we do a little things here. But oh man, they even got the flyer I created up there. Look, told y'all we do a few things for Rattler boosters, man. But yeah, like it's $100, and so it's not a bad deal. But we got to get more. Like we got to offer more. It has to be more exclusive, and it's supposed to go there. I don't know why it doesn't want to click there. Oh wait, there we go. Haha. Sorry, told you I got my fancy mouse. I don't use this one all the time. I normally go with my these are my favorite mice. Ain't gonna lie, partially because they look really cool. But turn it off, turn it on. I love it. But I like gadgets. So, but nah, like real talk. Like I really think you got to start taking advantage of that kind of stuff. They have the thing that they do with the NAA the Fridays before games with Mael and other supporters. But all of a sudden, y'all got to get that information. You know, look, JT, hello somebody. Hello somebody. Do a live music tailgate. And this is it. This, you know, I know Vaughn is crazy busy on a game day. But could you get a little DJ, you know, somebody to come in there before the game? Turn it into a little party, you know, get the Frankie Beverly Mays coming, you know, hit the little two-step, everybody doing the dance. Like, I'm just saying, like, take advantage of the things that are in front of you because that's really all you have. But that's how you kind of create your own vibe because the old heads are gonna love it because they're old. One thing old people like to do is they normally like to see young people having fun. So all of a sudden, if you can give me something, oh, the music is going, the vibe is right, then it creates an atmosphere and something that they want to go to. But then you lean into the other piece of that. Lean into the fact that, you know what? Some of them are older, some of them D9, and the Kappa stuff is way over there. I may not feel like going way over there. Matter of fact, I might not be Alpha Z. I'm not Alpha Z. I want to park. So, and I don't want to just like bogart their stuff. You know, if somebody invites me, I'm going. But oh man, y'all got a little something over here. Hey, we got some of the noops over here. Oh, okay. Bring some of the frat brothers over. You know, respect. You know, you show respect and deference. Because hey, that's y'all plot, man. I don't want y'all feeling like I'm just disrespectful. I'm respectful. Like, so have stuff like that. Have the, you know, all right, hey, so long before kickoff, have the groups do their stroll, invite some of the students to come in, you know, like invite the 100 to come through and play. Like, start creating an atmosphere that people want to go to, but that's unique because if the pregame's right, they're gonna be like, hey, pregame is here, postgame is there, and then during the game, if you want to have something where you serve food but don't play music because you know you don't want to distract from the game, you can have that too. But we have to start innovating. Sell the t-shirts, sell different merch, and you may have to hire somebody to do some of that. You can't do everything through volunteers because guess what? I'm a volunteer. I'm gonna put whatever pays first though, like respectfully. Like I got bills got to get paid because StreamYard ain't free. Like, and they just jacked up the price. So we're gonna figure this out. But at the same point, Rattler Boosters has to evolve, and it's gonna need a tune-up, and it needs that fresh blood. So we're gonna see y'all. It's gonna be some fun. Um, Sunday, yeah, we'll do a show. We'll do a show. We're gonna get ready for this Jackson State game. Some of these folks talking some trash. Thursday, we're gonna delve a little deeper into it. But I'm gonna see if I can call some friends in and we get some other things going. But I'm definitely gonna pull them cars tomorrow since we ain't got no game. See if I can get them for Thursday or Sunday. So either way, we're gonna try to have some special guests on the show. Talk to y'all about some of the upcoming stuff and get y'all ready, man. So, but if you haven't got ready, look, you got 15 minutes. You got a nice little bathroom break. Fang Exchange is coming on. Go check them out on their YouTube page. They are the official NIL supporter for FAMU Athletics. Not the official. They are doing it the best. I should say it like that. I almost forgot because y'all keep me responsible with my fantasy football stuff. So if you didn't see last week, your man's finished 5-0. So I'm petty. I am big petty. So 5-0 results, still in first place. So getting to still celebrate and talk all the trash. I mess with Brian and them for a little bit, but yeah. So for this week, who we got? Oh man, give me. I'm gonna take the ultimate layup, just so I get the confidence points. I'm sorry, you gave me Virginia University Lynchburg. I know some folks talking trash last year. Guess what? I don't care because I won a championship. So when you're number one, you talk big stuff. So next game, I'm gonna take Alabama State. Even though their offense is mid, I think Valley's just atrocious. Give me Alabama A&M over Cookman. Up there too, after a hurricane. Yeah, give me that. Give me Grambling. I'm trusting E. Scott. so if they lose, I can't say that to E. Scott because he's gonna be like, that's your choice. That's your fault. But I'm gonna pick him anyway. This Texas Southern game. Gosh, I don't want to pick that one. Trying to find a layup, and I think my mark is gonna be PV. So I'm taking the PV game. Taking PV over Pine Bluff, even though Pine Bluff has a former Rattler in there and the head coach from Florida. I'm gonna take that game just because. Yeah, I think that's how we're gonna do that. So for the that slate, give me PV over Pine Bluff. If I had to pick, I would probably take Sacred Heart over Howard, just because I don't know. But Howard's like their offense. They might win, they might lose. Like that's a real toss up for me. NCCU over Virginia Lynchburg because, duh. Towson or Norfolk State. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Norfolk could actually get that one because Towson has lost to Morgan State in the past. Like that's actually somewhat of a rivalry. Morgan over Merrimack. I don't know enough about either team. Well, Merrimack especially. I would take Robert Morris over Delaware State just because I just don't trust Delaware State. And let me see what Robert Morris is right now. I feel like they gave it a solid record. They're third in the Northeast. Yeah, they've been eating off of bad teams. Yeah, if I had to pick, give me Delaware State on that one. Then my real picks, I got Alabama State over Valley because it's just Valley. I'm sorry. Give me Grambling over Alcorn. I feel like Miles Crowley might actually show me something. Like he's leading the conference in passing yards. I got some faith. Alabama A&M over Cookman because I think Alabama A&M just can score, and I just don't trust BCU. And for this, how many points in the Texas Southern game? Southern's offense is bad. Texas Southern's offense is decent. Oof, but I don't know how either defense is going to be. Give me 48 points. And so we'll submit our picks. And we'll see. This one, I might get an L this week. Look, I don't have complete confidence in that one. But I picked my picks, so I'm gonna go with it. And I'm gonna ride with it. We're gonna ride out. You want to get that first win? Me too, man. I don't wish winless on nobody, like except for the University of Miami. But that's because I don't like private schools like that. Like not the PCUF. I don't care for the PCUF like that. Okay, so they got talking about Cookman. They got Valley next. I think that might be their first one. Might be the only one too. They got Southern. They got a shot. They might get 3 wins. All right. So for Herb Stewart and Black Techies, Adam, and everybody at HBCU Digital Network. I know Herb works at HBCU nightly as well, so that's why I almost had a Freudian slip. Look, get ready. Fang Exchange. Give y'all 10 minutes. Get y'all some warm food. Head to the restroom and get ready. But we're gonna see y'all Sunday because y'all know it's always gonna be Fangs up.
Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started. Are you kidding me? Unreal!
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community, they also know how to turn up.
Does he have it? Yes, he